Hey, it's Dan, welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And sometimes you just need a walk in the park, you know, to clear your head. So we're gonna do that today because people, I really think, are ignoring reality and just how business and our economy is completely decimated and falling apart around them. So we're gonna cover a few of the national business stories that are affecting all of us. And before I do, please take a second to hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. We do a lot of different grant videos, news videos, stimulus updates, a little bit of everything, which is what you're gonna get today. So let's get into it. First things first is the Shuttered Venues Grant. The Shuttered Venues Grant is a grant that ran through the SBA, which was designed originally to give businesses that ran concert halls and venues and things like that. It gave them a chance to get a grant, and the program was fantastic. It was going to be for concert promoters, and it has just been plagued by bad news from the beginning. When the program originated in early May, the portal shut down within 3 hours. It was completely closed and just a real mess. But now they're getting press for this because Hamilton just got $30 million. $30 million for that play. Now, congratulations to them. But of all the things to throw in people's faces is Hamilton. Now, do you not think that Lin-Manuel Miranda could not go out and get financing from anybody he wanted to? Because I think he could, and I think that the last thing that's fair is for this place to get, a grant. Now, Dan, it's such a great play. It's, Broadway's had been hurt, whatever. But for them to advertise this was a huge mistake. And number two is the Restaurant Revitalization Grant. This is an absolute joke. The SBA just announced today that they're closing the Restaurant Revitalization Grant as of July 14th. They will no longer accept or work any applications, which doesn't make any sense because as of right now, there are 100,000 businesses that are going to get grants that are going to total $28.6 billion, okay? They can get up to $10 million for these grants. The problem with it is that there's 265,000 applications as of right now that are left out in the cold. That's exactly right, 265,000. Now, this is the grant program that got sued already, where they had minority, women-owned businesses and businesses in low-income communities that were supposed to get the grants first. And a guy in Texas sued and said, hey, this is not fair. I'm a single dad, and I'm, my restaurant took a huge hit. I lost over $100,000 in the last year, and it's not fair. He sued. He got a restraining order for them to stop issuing funds. Now, again, people, if you work at a restaurant, you own a restaurant, your sister's ugly cousin owns a restaurant, they should be suing right now the SBA, okay? The fact that they were told that they were going to get approved, I would have demanded my money, and I would have already, it would have been litigation, skyrocketed litigation already. So you will see huge amounts of litigation. They're already talking in the press about what are they going to do? We need more funding for this. No, it's ridiculous. The way that this thing was handled was just just pure and simple SBA. It's just been backed up. One program after another's been messed up, and you're starting to see these problems happen over and over and over again. The next thing, okay, is that with that, do not let them just tell you no. Get an answer, get a definitive answer. If you're part of the people that were supposed to be funded and the rug was pulled out from under you, join one of the class action lawsuits. Get a hold of an attorney, figure that out right away, because it's not fair that you were told you were gonna get the money and they didn't give it to you, okay? The next thing is the PPP forgiveness. If you have already applied for a PPP loan, okay, there's been 5 million PPP loans that have been written, and there's 2 million loans right now, 5 million loans that were written in 2020, 2 million loans that have not gotten the forgiveness done yet. What is wrong with you people, okay? If, you know, the deadline's approaching for 2020 to get these loans forgiven, you guys need to go out and get this done as soon as you can. And again, I would get an expert to help me with the PPP forgiveness. I would not do this on my own. I've had people write me and say, oh my gosh, I did it and they've already denied it. What am I doing? Don't be foolish. You're talking about having this money be completely forgiven. It is a one-page application. If it is under 150 grand, have your accountant pay someone to do it professionally. Do not do this on your own. It's going to be a complete debacle if you do. And again, this deadline is not going to be extended. The IRS has already said that they're not going to extend it. So if you're not going to, if you're just going to accept the loan and pay the loan at the 1%, you know, yippee-ki-yay, enjoy. But if you want to get the loan written off and you don't think if you want to get the loan written off and forgiven, get it handled, because the deadline's fast approaching and they're going to have an abundance of people that are going to do this very quickly. Now the next story is from CNBC, and it's from General Mills. General Mills probably makes one of your favorite cereals that you had as a kid, and the CFO was on talking about how they have real challenges right now. They feel that inflation is just over 7%, which again, they keep using these shenanigan numbers to get us ready for the higher number, and the real number, which I think is 16%. But General Mills is having real trouble with every aspect of their business right now, from sourcing product, from manufacturing, packaging. Everything has gone up. Sealing the containers has gone up more over the last year than it has ever. And it's made it so that the packaging, they said, is going to be reflected on the shelf. And what you're going to see is you're going to see the same size boxes with much less product in them. So when you buy Lucky Charms, or whatever your favorite cereal is from General Mills, you're going to see less and less product, because that's the only way that they can compete right now, which again is leaving the price the same and you getting less product. Now, again, if you're a parent and you buy something and you're saying, hey, I get, you know, this many bowls of cereal out of it, my kids eat for a week, then, you know, that's what you're expecting. So that, you know, is a real travesty, because this is right before our eyes and people just don't want to admit this shrinkflation. They're admitting it now. So the story will be in the video description below, and you can take a look at it yourself. It's kind of a nice view of the hill behind me. You know, this whole area. It's not too warm of a day, but it's nice just to get out and walk and hit the trail. The next story is about travel and travel security. And this is again out of San Francisco. And San Francisco has a real problem with car break-ins. Not like you'd think, stealing stereos. What they're having a problem with is theft of different things from tourists. People rent cars, people go to hotels, they leave things out. Guys, you gotta prepare yourself. My dad was a, I don't know, kind of a streetwise guy that had all these rules for us in certain things in life with security. You know, it worked good with my sisters, it worked good with my brothers, and it just made a lot of sense. It seemed harsh at the time, but man, it's things like this that you have to prepare for, because, you know, when you look at San Francisco and the break-ins going up hundreds of % over last year, and San Francisco's got its own problems with business and everything else, but they are literally driving down the street, seeing camera bags in the back of cars, breaking windows and stealing the camera bags out of the car. So just be prepared as you travel, as you do things that are fun, as everything starts to open up again. Get yourself ready and just be safe and be secure and be aware of the people around you, because these criminals are getting more and more brazen. They're getting more and more desperate. As Jeremiah, Babe, and I walked through hell last week or this week, excuse me, of LA and Hollywood and MacArthur Park especially, and even Skid Row. I mean, there's so much stuff that we didn't even show you on those videos. But Man, people are desperate. People will steal anything, and you've got to be prepared. And just remind others of this stuff, because as you go back out, everybody's having a good time, but you need to be safe. I just had a relative go to Vegas, and I gave her the mantra and the drill, and she just told me she had a great time and nothing happened, and that's the way it should be. So the next story is Robinhood. Robinhood, the investment app, is trying to go public. They just filed an S-1 filing. This is the form you file right before you want to go public. It's your financial disclosure basically at the end. And it's a doozy because they have lost a boatload of money, a mountain of money, a behemoth amount, just huge sums of money. Robinhood has made the majority of its money from cryptocurrency trading, and the majority of its cryptocurrency trading has been Dogecoin. Dogecoin hit a high of 73 cents, and it accounted for, over 40% of its trading activity, and it's dropped now to a low of about 25 cents. And Robinhood has set up different programs like Webull. Webull, I've mentioned Webull before. You can get free stock when you sign up and use my Webull link. And Robinhood has lost hundreds of millions of dollars giving away free stock, and they're hoping that they're going to issue their own stock and be able to give it away as well when people sign up, get some Robinhood stock. And it's a complete debacle. If Dogecoin, the interest fades, they think that their problems could exacerbate and they could lose tons of money at Robinhood. So we will see if the IPO takes off. This is like 1999 again, guys, and you could, have pets.com and it's going to raise, $1 jillion and the company lose money. So I don't know why this is a concern right now, because it doesn't make sense. And, a lot of these companies, Uber and all these other crazy companies that have gone public, this is no exception as far as I'm concerned. The next thing is a Board of Governors member was speaking at a banking conference, and the link will be below, and was talking about Bitcoin. And, he was saying, Bitcoin has no value in society. It's no value for business. It's a novelty, and you get anonymity with it. That's the only thing of value that you get when you buy and you sell Bitcoin. He thinks it's worthless. He thinks it's going to drop to nothing. And again, he's an idiot. He's crazy. Well, he thinks that there's going to be other alternatives that the feds will have over Bitcoin. So share your thoughts. I know you guys will. And again, Dogecoin at 25 cents. I'd like to, meet all the Dogecoin millionaires that told me that they were going to make, $250,000 from $60 and all that stuff. And I know people that have bought it for very little money, got the thing up as high as $10,000, $11,000, and were stupid enough not to sell it. So, share your thoughts. Have you guys unloaded the Dogecoin yet? Are you still involved in that? It's kind of nice when you're up here. I don't know if you guys can see this behind me or not, but see the golf course back there. Just a great view. Very private though up here. Clear your head. It's kind of funny. They have electricity. I always get a kick out of the fact that they have electricity over here when you get up to the top up here. But great place to just kick back and enjoy the shade. But share your thinkings on these alternative coins, the Dogecoin. The story will be below, but I'm always curious as to what you guys think of this stuff. Now the next two stories are about Tesla, and Tesla's getting sued. A man named Kevin Shankman is an attorney in Alameda County, and he bought a Tesla, and he's upset because he was promised that he would get free charging at the charging stations for life if he bought his Tesla. There's a thing that they're charging people for, and it's called an idle fee. Basically, when you charge your Tesla and it's done charging, it starts to charge you. It can charge you up to $1 a minute for having the car sit there and not be unplugged. Mr. Shankman thinks that this is outrageous and that, again, it defeats the purpose of the free charging for life, which when I read this and I researched a little more, it kind of doesn't make sense. And again, let's say you've seen those charging stations. You walk into a restaurant or someplace and the thing's charged, and what are you supposed to do? Stand there and wait there for it? So, he's not going to pay it. But what this guy did was he filed a class action lawsuit, and it will be interesting to see if he gets class action status for this, because I guess a lot of people that own Teslas are unhappy about this. And again, solar energy, I love. Oh, it's free. You just park your car in the sun. Well, if that were true, you guys wouldn't be having these conversations. People wouldn't be spending thousands of dollars for solar energy and for solar panels and things like that to make this work. It's not free, okay? And if you've noticed, here in Southern California, SoCal Edison keeps charging more and more connection fees. They make these houses stay on the grid unless you live in, someplace on a farm in the middle of nowhere and you can have solar panels and it can charge your Tesla. God love you, because the rest of these people have to pay these fees, and the fees of the last 5 years have just gone up and up and up, and SoCal Edison is trying to raise the fees right now. The next thing is drag racing. There's a lot of car enthusiasts that reach out to me. I know a lot of car guys, and they keep racing these Teslas, and the one thing that's funny is these internal combustion folk keep talking about how Tesla keeps adding a third motor to these cars and doing things to make them faster. And at Piedmont Raceway, the drag strip in South Carolina, they raced another Tesla, and they keep smoking these things and keep showing videos of it, and the stories below. Again, the Teslas are fast, but nothing like driving a gas-powered car, and these cars from the 60s and these Mustangs and these great GTOs that are out there and all these fantastic cars. It's just great to see them, and I don't think that they're ever going to be replaced. And share your thoughts, guys. But is it ridiculous? Should this guy be suing Tesla? Is it unfair? What's it cost you? For those of you that have Teslas out there that write me and tell me how much you love it, what does it cost you a month to operate your vehicle? Do you drive a lot? Are you a guy that drives, 30,000 miles a year, 40,000 miles a year? Or do you drive to your office and go home? Let me know. Share your thoughts. Up next, I saw a great interview of Rick Harrison. It was on Kitco, and he is the owner of the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop in Las Vegas. That is where they base the TV show Pawn Stars from. And it was a fascinating interview, because basically the interview was talking about silver and where silver's at right now and how it is as an investment. And you should see this, because he just talks about all the benefits of it, how difficult it is to get right now, how silver is the most conductive metal that there is, and that there's always going to be a demand for it. Like he said, the name of my business is Gold and Silver Pawn Shop for a very specific reasons, because he feels that that's the two best investments that you can have. So if you get a chance, take a look at that, because it's just fantastic. And Rick was talking about how getting precious metals right now is very difficult to get them, because they're just either hard to come by, silver bars, silver coins, everything. And there's a reason for that, and he feels that the demand with inflation is going to skyrocket very shortly. And now the next thing is, I had a great interview that I found from Mark Cuban, Barbara Corcoran, and other famous business people, and talking about what it took to make them successful, and business tips that they could give people. And I always find it fascinating to read these things, and I want to share it with you guys. But Mark Cuban talked about how what motivated him early with his parents telling him to get a job, and how he needed to make his own money, and how it just inspired him to do things, and he was always entrepreneurial. And Barbara Corcoran, who's also a shark from Shark Tank, is just a fascinating woman when it comes to real estate, and how she did all this on her own, and then how she's just become the queen of New York real estate. Vera Wang, the dress designer, talked about how all the challenges that she had, and how if she didn't do it, no one was going to tell her to do it for her, and it was just great. So take a look at that, and you're going to find it to be, just a really, really good interview, and just a great article. And the last thing on this channel is this. I have a lot of subscribers that come from various different types of business. And one of them is a woman, Fran Glover, that runs Joseph Dreamhouse. It is a nonprofit out of Broward County in Florida. And they basically feed the homeless, they feed people that are having a tough time, and they are a food bank. And I've never asked you guys for this, but I really need you to help Joseph Dreamhouse right now. And everything in Florida right now, you know, yes, it's open, but they're having a lot of trials and tribulations with the economy, just like everybody else. Fran told me, you know, some really heart-wrenching stories about how she had donors a year ago that were making 6 figures, and now they're using her services and they're getting food because they cannot make ends meet. So she is in desperate need of a new air conditioning unit for her building, and she's got a GoFundMe going on. And if you guys can give $5, $1, anything, 100, whatever you can give, it would be a great help to this great organization. It's a 501(c)(3). You can check them out. They're absolutely fantastic. But please understand, people, that, you know, she feeds people. She does not bring them in and feed them. She supplies them with food for them to cook on their own. And this is for families and people that need this. So great organization out of Broward County, but you know, they were going to get press, and they were going to get some things that were going to happen. And in Florida right now, there's a lot of news coverage on the condo collapse, and it's taken away from Fran's business. So if you guys can give, the links will be below. Also, if you guys buy anything from Amazon, the cool thing with Amazon is she has an Amazon link that they can make a little bit of money. So if you know you're going to buy something from Amazon, check out Fran's link and use that, and just help them out. You'd be helping out a really good cause. So once again, you guys, don't forget to like the video. Please hit the subscribe button. Share this with all your friends and colleagues. Thank you very much, one and all, for being here. And it's a lot of cool things happening in July. We're going to be traveling. You're going to see a lot of cool stuff happening. And please, you've got the email list that you can join below, and all the social media contacts. If you want to be a Patreon member and get more access to me, please take advantage of that and sign up now for it. Onward and upward, guys. Good luck to each and every one of you, and I will see you all very soon.